In 2015, after years of anticipation, a new Muppet TV show was announced and released to much fanfare. It was called The Muppets.
Yes.
And nobody watched it, and it was canceled after one season. But Michelle and I have chosen to pay homage to that show with our latest diorama. So, this is our latest piece for a show at Gallery1988.
Yeah, and that show's called Idiot Box. It celebrates television shows from 1999 on up through today.
We chose The Muppets from 2015.
Great show.
It really is. But honestly, we almost didn't make this piece because we thought we wouldn't have time.
Yeah.
I bring that up now while there's video of me sculpting Kermit because initially we talked it over and thought that I would build the base. It's a fairly elaborate base.
Oh, yeah.
And you would felt the figures.
Because they're Muppets. Fuzzy, felty Muppets.
Yeah, it's a natural fit. But then we realized that it would just take you way too long with everything else we had to do.
Right.
But I really didn't want to abandon the project. So I reasoned that since we're using Kermit and he's a frog, maybe he could be a clay sculpt.
Right. We leaned into the idea that he's covered in skin. Frog skin.
Yeah.
Not fur.
I mean, I textured him a bit. He's not smooth. And in the end, I think I gave him what could pass for a Muppety texture.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really glad we switched up and did it this way.
Me too.
Plus, I finally had a decent excuse to use the airbrush. I also had to use a detail brush to paint inside Kermit's mouth. It looks like a big giant frog mouth,
Yeah.
but it is actually pretty tiny. And a superfine Posca pen to give him those classic Kermit eyes.
Fozzie, on the other hand, is the perfect character for needle felting.
Yeah.
He's big and soft and fuzzy and warm. And I actually had some wool that comes amazingly close to his actual color.
It really does. And I know you can't just pick out wool colors like you can tubes of paint.
Right.
So you kind of have to hope you get close, or that you get lucky.
Exactly. And I got real lucky with this color.
Yeah.
It's as close to a dead-on match as I'm ever going to get.
Fozzie Bear is kind of the star of this episode of The Muppets that we're recreating. And I'd argue probably the star of this diorama.
Well, he's definitely a focal point. But Kermit's important to the story as well. The episode is called Bear Left, Then Bear Right.
Yeah, and it's about Fozzie leaving the Muppets to go find his muse and write a movie. And Kermit goes after Fozzie to ask him to come back. The writing on this show, by the way, the comedy, it's pretty tight.
Oh, yeah.
In this episode in particular, but the whole show, it's just that same sort of multi-level comedy that Henson and Oz were doing way back on the original Muppet Show.
Henson and Oz were an amazing comedy team.
Hilarious.
The two Muppet performers playing Kermit and Fozzie in this series had a similar sort of rhythm.
Yeah.
Funny stuff.
Very funny. There are a number of different ways that you can make a tree.
Yeah.
And I chose a confusing combination of every method known to man.
Right.
This thing is made of wire and clay and hot glue and modeling compound and resin.
Wow.
And despite all that, I think I ended up making a fairly believable tree.
I think so.
A lot of the Muppet shows have this great backstage vibe. The original spent a lot of time backstage at that old theater, and I think Muppets Tonight was backstage in a TV studio.
Yeah, and the same goes for the Muppets. It's all about the antics backstage at Miss Piggy's late night talk show.
Right. So why, you may ask, am I making a tree? Well, you won't ask. You know.
I do.
You know why I'm making a tree. But this episode, Bear Left, Then Bear Right, is all about Fozzie leaving the show. And when he leaves, he goes out into the woods to find himself.
Right.
But he actually loses himself.
Yeah, he doesn't have the best bear instincts.
No, but he is a bear, nevertheless. And when he's out there, he startles some campers, and a park ranger ends up shooting him with a tranquilizer dart.
And it's up to Kermit to save him from all that.
Well, they're friends.
Right.
You know, he followed him there. They have each other's backs. It's like you and me.
Yeah.
We got each other's backs.
Right.
We're building this diorama together. It's teamwork. I know if I were ever felled by a tranquilizer dart in the wild, that you would drag my ponderous bulk to safety. Right?
I don't think.
Right?
Let's just take a look at the diorama.
Unbelievable.
Fozzie there! Fozzie!
Bear! There's a bear!
Wait a minute, is he wearing a tie? Hello? Oh boy. Come on, Fozzie? Kermit? What are you doing here? Oh! He shot me! Kermit, he shot me! Why did you shoot me? I'm Fozzie the Bear. Fozzie the...
I love that scene.
Oh, me too.
And I really do like our recreation of it.
Oh, yeah.
I think, as usual, you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
This just looking at this makes me smile.
Oh, me too. I think the sculpts came out nice.
Yeah,
And
not
I
bad,
think
good.
the environment is so inviting.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm out in the woods with Kermit and Fozzie.
And who wouldn't want that?
I know. I'm happy with the way the tree came out, the plants and flowers.
It's not an exact duplicate of the scene in the show.
Oh, right.
But it evokes that same sense of, like, the beauty of nature mixed with the chaos of the Muppets.
Yes.
And since the show is called Idiot Box, we made sure to set this whole diorama inside its own idiot box.
That'll keep the dust off.
Yeah, it serves a purpose, and it follows the theme. Thank you for building this with me.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of my favorite projects that we've done.
Me too.
And there are a lot of great pieces in this show. You can view them or even purchase them at the Gallery1988 link down in the info.
And if you want to take a look at the last piece we did for Gallery 1988, we'll leave a link to our Son of Frankenstein diorama.
Hey, can you imagine strolling through the woods? Like we're out for a walk,
Yeah.
and you stumble across Kermit the Frog, dragging Fozzie's unconscious body through the grass.
Would that be a bad time to ask for an autograph?
As long as you're polite,
Okay, good.
be respectful.
Right.